All right, y'all. So I really don't ever think that the slavery system or the essence of the slavery system really went away. And I know that might sound like crazy to somebody to say like, oh, slavery never went away. And I know we're not physically slaves nowadays, right? But let me explain what I mean. So the way I was thinking about this is like back in the day when you worked as like a farmer or a laborer, and I'm not talking about black people, I'm just talking about people in general. When you worked as somebody who was like on a farm, you got paid in the share of crops that you worked on that farm. So you would get like some corn or something like that if you worked on a farm in the old plantation system, right? And then I'm starting to think about it like, okay, so back in the day, you got paid in the share of food, basically. And then I wrote here, industrialization made it so that everybody started to get paid in cash. So like, instead of getting paid in the share of crops or housing, how we used to when everybody worked on a farm back in the day, when people started to move to the cities, I feel like that's when it became easier for the financial systems to control us and to like get people into debt. So as more and more people started to like get paid physical cash, you know, as wages instead of crops, etc., and we all live in the cities, everybody started to get debt. And now basically, instead of owing the plantation owner a share of your crops, as I said here, you owe the bank a portion of your income, which I would almost argue is worse because like we're in this mindset that we have a great life. Most people are like comfortable. They can still buy most of the things that they want. So we have a very comfortable life nowadays compared to like slaves back in the day. I will admit that. But most people who have a lot of debt, they still have to pay a substantial portion of their income. The resources that they produce have to go to somebody else each time they get paid. And if you really think about it, in essence, that's practically what the slavery system was. You were working for somebody else. If you work and all of your resources go to paying off debt, you're basically working for the bank. You're working for somebody else.